For my first hand, I have ace-6 of diamonds. I put the squeeze on with 5 limpers in the hand, and I raise to 30 and take it down. For my second hand, I have jack-4 off in the small blind. I throw on the extra buck, and the flop comes jack-4-9. I check. There's a bet of $6. I raise to $36. I get called. The turn is the 8 of diamonds. I lead out and just jam all in. Unfortunately, my opponent has the nuts with Queen 10 and calls, and I do not suck out. I lose. For my next hand, I have 4s. I raise to $25 over 3 lumpers in the big blind or on the button, and get 1 caller. Queen 9-7. I see bets $25. Get called. After this, we both check it down. Unfortunately for me, the board comes double paired, and I'm playing the board with queens 9s with a 7 kicker, and my opponent has an ace. For my next hand, I have pocket deuces. The flop comes deuce, jack 5. I limped under the gun and called a $6 raise. I checked this one. There's $15 bet, and I smooth call it. Turn is an ace. I check again. Call 20. River's another jack. Now ace jack makes a better boat. The guy leads out for 40. I go all in. He folds, and I win. My fifth hand. The cutoff raises to $7. I'm in the button with ace-8 of spades. I decided to smooth call it. We go multi-way to a 5-way flop. I completely missed the flop, and I fold. I limp under the gun with king jack off. There's a raise and a re-raise, and I fold. For my seventh hand, I have king queen in the small blind. There are 3 limpers. Hijack raises to $6. I re-raise to $40, and everybody folds. My next hand, I have 8-6 in the big blind. There's a straddler. I call 2. The straddler checks, and the flop comes 7-5-4. There are 6 players in this hand, so I lead out for $25, which is about a pot-sized bet. I get 1 caller. Turn is a queen. I bet $75 this time. Guy thinks and folds. Says he wants to see the river, which means he probably was forced to fold a flush draw. For my next hand, I have jack 10. I'm in the big blind. There's been a raise to $5. I call 3. The flop comes all little ones. There's 5 players in this hand. Everybody checks. Turn is a queen. Somebody throws out $5, and I fold. For my next hand, I limp in with king queen. We go 6 ways to a flop. The board comes up ace 10 3. Somebody bets $11 and I fold. The next hand I have 10-3 in the small blind. I call the extra dollar. The flop comes king, queen, 3. Everybody checks. The turn is another queen. Somebody bets $10. I'm a little bit suspicious. I call. The river is a jack. He bets 25. I decided to call again. He does have a king 5. For my next hand, I have ace jack. I raised to 20 over 2 limpers and get 1 caller. The flop comes 9, 8, 7. I c-bet $20 and get called. The turn is a 9. I bet again, $40 this time, get called. The river is an ace. He checks to me again. This time I put out 100. He folds. Now I got king 10 of clubs under the gun. I limp in. We go 6 ways to a flop. Nobody raises. The board comes 6, 4, 4, 5. Everybody checks. On the turn, I pick up a flush draw, put out $10, get 2 callers. I miss and I check and fold on the river. For my next hand, I pick up pocket 4s. I flat on the button for $15. I miss a set and I fold the flop. For my next hand, I pick up pocket jacks. I'm in the small blind. There's been raised to $17. And this is a player that typically has a big pair from my previous experience with him. So I call just to set mine, and the flop comes king, king 5. I check, he checks back. The turn is a 6. I check again, he checks back. River is another 5, puts 2 pair on the board. I check, he checks back. I show my jacks and he shows pocket queens. For my next hand, I'm in the cutoff with Snowman. There's 4 limpers in front of me. I raise to 30 and take it down. For my next hand, I have ace king on the button. I raise to 30. There's been about 4 or 5 limpers. This time the small blind makes the call. The flop comes queen 8, 7, 2 spades. He checks to me. I didn't really want to c-bet such a large percentage of my stack, so I elect just to ship it all in. He does make the call. He's got ace queen with a flush draw, and he hits a flush. For my next hand, I pick up pocket aces. There's 1 limper. I raise to 15. I get 4 callers. The flop comes Jack 8-6, 2 hearts. Once again, I go with ship it all in for about 2 times the pot strategy. Timing's a little bit off though, because somebody has a set. My opponent has trip jacks and takes it down. For my next hand, I have Queen 10 of clubs. There's one limper. I raised to $20. The flop comes with Jack 5-4, 2 clubs. I throw out a $30 c-bet. He min raises to 60, and I decide to go all in. Timing is off again as he has set of 5s, and I do not hit a flush.